What's up, chat box? Get my screen set up here. I don't know why it's kind of cropped a little weird. Let me get that fixed and get a even run there. All right, crop that side out. Boom. All right, we're rolling. Can move that around there. Jim don't like to have his mug all in the camera, but I do. I like looking at y'all. Um, but I do need to. I did realize I need to make it a little bit bigger than before because of the fact that um, it wasn't like you guys couldn't see like as well as I thought you could um, of my screen because of the resolution. So making it got a little bit bigger. Got a little bit bigger. I'm pretty sure we're good from all angles. Yeah, just making sure all my windows are good. Um, but DXY, we're gonna start off with DXY. The dollar fell. I thought we were gonna get a little bit more of a push. As you can see, I had that box up here. Just get rid of that there. Um, we ended up getting a slight push higher, but we didn't end up actually breaking above this top that we ended up making on Monday. I thought that it was going to be a little bit more of a push higher than that, digging into this gap, but nope, not at all. It ended up melting down to this area that we've been, saying every single day on the show that that's where the dollar was going, like yesterday and um, well, not the day before that because it was Sunday. But actually, no, on the major market breakdown, I said it as well. And then on Friday and Thursday and Wednesday, every single day, you guys have been told by us that the DXY is going down. So if you traded in an aspect that was losing and it had anything to do with the dollar, then I don't know what you were doing. You must not have tapped in. You must not have tapped in. I'm only expecting more weakness here. This is kind of a key area though, because we got the bull stepped in here, the bull stepped in here. We're gonna see if we get a reaction off of this level. I'm banking on getting at least a little bit of a reaction off of this level, just because psychologically the bulls have stepped in. So even if we're gonna melt through it, we're likely gonna still react off of it to some extent. I can kind of like sift this down just a little bit now that we've kind of gotten down into it and got some stoppage. But I let me see. This is the last area we actually really got any pushback. So I'm leaning to the side of thinking we'll probably get a pullback to this level here, 96.8 to 96.9 ish roughly. Um, on my daily time frame here. But once we do retrace a little bit, we're probably going to end up melting through this, just because the third tap is usually gone. Triple bottoms usually end up getting broken. Double bottoms are pretty strong. Triple bottoms get broken from a technical standpoint. Of course, fundamentals can always throw that from left to right. But I'd expect the dollar to melt here once we take out some liquidity in this area here, and maybe even actually some good U.S. data drops, right? And then we end up yanking all the way back to this gap that we left here. Actually, I don't even need to grab another box. I still have this one here. Um, so last area that we actually got pushed from the other side is here, and then we have a gap here. So reaction from this level could leave us here, could leave us here, but once we do pull back to either of these levels, I'll be looking for more NZD USD buys. And we can go ahead and take a look at that now actually. Um, I've actually been in some NZD USD buys since like down here, so I wasn't too stressed about getting in another entry up here. We did end up marking another position, just just in case it decided to chill out and give you guys another opportunity to get in, but it didn't do that. But we're seemingly gonna get that opportunity this week. If we can get a reaction off that level from the dollar, then I'd love this to come back. Honestly, I'd be okay with it coming back to this, testing out this consolidation here, and even taking out this low. I wouldn't even be too against that. Now, from a momentum standpoint, um, it really is probably only gonna come back and give us a tap into here, something like that, because there's a FEG right in this area. If I'm not mistaken, yeah. Let me get rid of this. This was a target for that last entry. Kind of just trailing my stop loss super deep in profit on this. But if we can actually, if the dollar can give us a reaction to the upside, and this can give us a pullback, when this starts bottoming out, and we can see where the dollar starts rejecting at, then I'll go ahead and probably look for an entry, if not in this exact zone, wherever we're seeing the stoppage at. But let's take a look at the edge finder this morning, so you guys can see what the top setups are. Okay, so NZD Chef, very bullish. So we actually got a pullback yesterday with NZD Chef, and you know cool. This had changed from a plus 15 score to a plus 14 score yesterday. Now, when I checked it this morning, it had changed back to a plus 15 score. This is after it pulling back. So let's go and look at I ain't gonna lie, the tool cooked with that. The tool definitely cooked with that. If you use it enough, and you can actually like see the different assets changing in strength, and you can kind of see that changing in strength manifest on the chart. So when I woke up this morning and I saw that the score had went up again, and the bird's eye tool had gave me a good momentum read. Let me see if it's still reading that now. It was giving a bullish momentum incoming reading, and it's not anymore. It's because it's moved slightly. Let me share this so you guys see what I'm looking at. It's moved slightly higher. I got another entry down here, so I got stopped out. Let me go back to my chart so I can actually show you. um, so I'm still in this entry. Stop loss at break even. Or no, actually, I don't think my stop loss at break even. I think it's just open. I had stop loss at break even and in profit on all of these entries, and then this yanked back and took out most of those trades. But I'm in drawdown for one entry here because I had a pending order, and then I'm in a little bit of profit for an entry down here. So that's how that's playing out right now, and it hasn't, even with this yanking back a little bit more than I was assuming it would. It's not broken any kind of bullish structure. So from a technical standpoint, we're strong still. Haven't really, we just made a higher high here, honestly. From if we're marking the trend from like here, just made another high, or higher low, sorry. But fundamentally stronger than yesterday. Technically still intact. So I like the trade. It's the main trade that I'm focused on for the most part right now. This, and then just managing the NZD USD trade that we're already in. Just managing both of these is the main focus that I have. But let's go through all of our major markets real quick. Let's take a look at EURUSD. Take a look at I actually didn't. So I be meaning to go back and like edit the levels like before I be finishing all my live streams, because I didn't get stopped out on this. I actually didn't have a stop loss on my position on this, and it just ran away. But I ended up getting stopped out in profit right here, because I had my stop loss just in a little bit of profit after it did this run up. I was like, okay, it started to bottom out a little bit here, so I was like, okay, let me put my stop loss under structure a little bit, and then it whoop took me out and then ran away. So um you know, some of them just don't, you're not able to take advantage of, as much as you'd like. But I was honestly a little bit wary on getting more positions on the euro, just because of so much going on right now. But it traded way cleaner. Like, look at this. This is a very, very clean chart. It traded way cleaner than I assumed it would. But we are getting a little bit of, well, we're getting very, very, very ever so slight hidden divergence. Like, we're not getting like real Holyfield divergence here. I think we're smelling the dollar about to give us a pullback for some more opportunities. So like the euro, I wouldn't like it to roll over too much, but if the dollar is gonna give us, a good yank back to those levels that we mentioned before, then this isn't too much of a loss of momentum here. For me, I don't hate this trade down here. I wouldn't like it too deeper than that, and then take it right back to where it came from. I honestly just love it to break either of these lows, clear either of these lows, and you know, I'm patient. You know what I'm saying? But it could be long. It could be long, a long pullback. Just depending on, because we know that they're kind of trying to push back the rate cuts until June, May, June kind of timing. So that could put the dollar in a slightly prolonged bullish trend for a little while, as a reaction to the major level that it just dipped to. So we could see this not play out like this. We could see this play out something like it trickle down. Pull this down. It trickled down over, say, the next 3-ish weeks or so, and then give us a really good opportunity to the upside. Now, of course, my day traders don't my day traders and scalpers don't love to hear that. What do you mean it's gonna take that long? But it is what it is, because it's gonna be a great entry when we get it. Just like had I not moved my stop loss as deep into profit as I did, you know, as good of an entry as this one running up. But opportunities are ever so forthcoming, and it's always more to find. Let's take a look at AUD. Freaking ran. I tried my best to get in AUD. I didn't. Didn't. Look at here. Look here. Look, guys. I tried my best. So close. So close. And I was actually so ticked off when I pulled up my chart and I saw that, like, it got that close. And I had an alert set here and everything. Um did not activate. I don't know why I didn't delete it. Just deleted it. It's not deleting. I don't know. Okay, there we go. Let's get rid of that there. Whew, whew. The strength running up, with gold and China's productivity, essentially. AUD USD benefits when China is productive, and China has been productive. So, On top of the U.S. dollar being weak, you got China being very productive. The AUD USD pair loves that environment. That's why you have such a clean chart here. We're getting, I'd say, just a wee, excuse me, just a wee bit of divergence. And when I say wee bit, I mean just a hair. Again, probably just smelling that dollar pullback incoming. But there's a few levels here. This did a run up, and when it runs up, the pullbacks are a little sharper, a little more violent. Um, this level down here, not at all expecting it to be touched in the near term. Um, but this level and this level here, I would love to start scaling into this. Let's go on my daily time frame real quick. I want to see something. Um, yeah, we have a few levels of psychology that will come into play once this does continue to keep pushing. So this level here, it's already cleared. All right. So yeah, I want to note that, and then this level is pulling it up. Note that as well. All right. So now that we got both of those levels noted, it's not just blank screen over here. We understand what's going on, and when price gets to these levels, we understand that this level here, price price used as a bouncing point, to the downside before, and now that we've cleared it, if we close above it on the daily, honestly, there's a chance that it tries to continue higher, right? Now, a closure on here at all, what I mean, just the fact that we've cleared it, any AUD USD, you know traders specifically that just love to trade this pair, are most likely had some buy stops past some of these areas, right? So like liquidity is still in full force. So just because it's slightly oversold and because it's ran up doesn't mean it has to yank back to give us these opportunities, right? It could close here, give us another candle higher, pull back, stop here, and then go on about its way to the upside. But I like looking for momentum based entries, and when momentum is pushing like this, we usually get some kind of um, fib retracement. I'm pretty sure all these are fairly good fib levels that I had put up. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that 23, that's probably weak, but that this one, let me get rid of this. This one here is actually a 38. This is a 38, so this is actually my favorite entry here. We may end up ping ponging here for a second before going off, and maybe even getting like a slight little sweep up under this and pushing up higher. But I would love to get this long position on here. Um, I would love to get this entry here on AU. Love to get a rollover, and then um, I'm gonna leave this line here just in case it decides to push higher. Just because I've kind of noted that as a psychological possible support. Just because it did slightly resist here, but it was much more reactive. Before, so we'll see. We'll see. It's super reactive territory that we're in, and it's just pushing higher at the moment. Um, but we're kind of moving into that slowing down point of the day, and that's kind of why I like this to be my segment area, because like, yeah, there's when you trading as much as I trade a lot of different forex pairs. There's always going to be opportunities regardless. but I like the markets to be a little more chill while I'm talking about it, giving you the breakdown, analyzing. I don't want too many shifting conditions while I'm, trying to give you the breakdown, because then, I'm trying to scramble, take a trade real quick, and whatnot. I definitely like it to be a little bit more chill. But we do end up getting, if you go through all the live sessions, we've gotten into quite a lot of trades while on the live session. So it's definitely not a rare occurrence necessarily. It's just not every single day, every single session kind of occurrence. Let's take a look at GBP USD here. Yep, just as strong. We're really getting everything along the same similar lines. I'm sure this is roughly a 38% retracement that I just marked off. More likely from here. It's more like a 50/38. So it's technically like a golden entry for me. It's like my what I deem to be the highest probability. I mean, and I won't say I've deemed it to be. Math has deemed it to be one of the more higher probability Fibonacci retracement levels. So I would love to grab me an entry off of here. I would love to grab me an entry off of here. If we can get, and this is all contingent upon us getting that reaction off that level for the U.S. dollar, and we'll probably end up needing to get some good U.S. data for that. It's the 20. So, okay. I just wanted to take a look real quick. So tomorrow we do have FOMC um FOMC meeting. Um, Probably going to tell us that they're going to push off rate cuts, and that is probably going to be, that's going to be the reaction off the dollar that we're looking at. So Trump's going to talk at 3 today. That's EST. Um, and then we're gonna get CPI for the AUD. So not too much going on, but the goings ons. Tomorrow is really where you want to have those close stops and be watching the charts a little bit more closely, and of course being tapped into the show, because we're gonna be live um, whenever. Actually, let me see. Um, 1 p.m. Yeah, I'll go back. I mean, my segment usually ends at around 11:30. But I'm gonna go back and stream again just for that meeting. um, just because I want to see the like the market reaction, and of course I'm usually always paying attention, but I'm not always on stream, talking about, when they're doing the big stuff. So definitely want to get more into streaming the events that occur, whether it be FOMC, Trump having a speech here, there, World Economic Forum, whatever it may be. I definitely, because I be having a lot to say, and I be saying it to my wife, and like she cares but doesn't care. You know what I mean? So you know what I'm saying. So it's like I want to say that to y'all, give y'all the value, because y'all gonna take it, use it, and probably monetize it. All right. Last but not least, let's take a look at the one that's on fire. The one that's on fire. Look at it. It just looks like it wants to take another push higher. That's crazy. It does not at all look like it wants to roll over here. It looks like it wants to just like, it's just like a rocket ship formation. Just pew. It just wants to go. It just wants to go. But stop losses in profit, heck of profit. We're just kind of waiting to see if it wants to give us an opportunity to get some more entries. I will say, while the S&P is pushing higher today, right? We have an opportunity. So we are in a tedious space where we think there might be a market sell-off at hand somewhere, but markets are still pushing higher. So you're trying to figure out like how do I position myself to make the most out of all of this that's going on. So here's how I'm playing this situation, right? So I'm expecting another sell off of some weird bad news. I know they haven't reached a full deal on Greenland and everything yet, and any kind of downward catalysts are going to send markets a good 1 to 2% down on that day, whatever day it happens, right? But right now, as it stands, we're pushing higher on risk assets, or at least S&P 500. Yeah, Bitcoin not as much, but Bitcoin is crypto's a little pretty kind of green on the day, right? So I'm going to diversify into my defensive sectors, right? Um, so let me give you a few. This is not financial advice. I'm just giving y'all this before I get out of here. It's not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. Um, but I will give you a few of the assets I plan on diversifying into. Today, tomorrow, and likely the next day. So, um, let me go to it so I can show you if I can find it. I sent it to the chat a few days ago. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so APH. These are stocks. These are stocks now. APH, KTOS. Now y'all gotta do y'all research. I'm telling y'all what I'm doing. Y'all gotta do y'all research. And BTU, right? Those are three things that I'm diversifying into that I'm not already in. Now, let me give you guys a few defensive plays that I am already in. And low key down on the day. I'm pretty sure I'm down on the day. Huh? Probably not. Probably not very much. Let me see. Go to the other portfolio. All right. Okay. So okay. CRM, that's defensive. I'm just a holder of CRM. And then I'll give y'all VHT. That's Vanguard healthcare ETF. All right. So all those tickers I just gave you, go do your research. You know what I'm saying? Type it into search boxes. Figure out if these things are things that you should put into your portfolio. I'm putting them into my portfolio because I am very diversified, and I have quite a few things that I use as defensive areas for when there are market sell-offs. These things are essentially things that do like okay to when the risk assets like S&P, VOO, your what I'm saying, tech stocks are doing really really good. They're doing man to you know what I mean? But when your tech stocks are doing bad, these are doing good. They're smacking, they're banging. You dig what I'm saying? All right. So essentially, you want to make yourself defend. You don't want to be at the mercy of any one market. Right. You want to make sure that you're diversified. You got a little bit in crypto, got a little bit in stocks, a little bit in bonds, holding some cash. You got some physical metals. You want to make sure that no matter what happens in the world, you still making a little bit somewhere. Because if your money not working for you, it's leaving you. If your money not working for you, it's leaving you. All right. I'll leave y'all with that. Finna get out of here. If y'all want to get funded, you guys know you can hit the one of the links in the description. I need to go ahead and edit the live descriptions because it's different from the regular video descriptions. Everything's like kind of automated now. It's like just kind of press and play, press and play, press and play, and all the descriptions kind of do their thing, and my team, edits and makes the shifts. But if you want to get funded, we do have the switch promo still going on. When you switch over from another prop firm, you use code SWITCHED during checkout, and you'll get 20% off whatever funded account you're looking for. All right, I love y'all. Make sure you're kind to somebody. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one.